Hey Golf Gang, and welcome to this Diablo 3 Season 28 video. I know we're not in a season yet, but what I've done is gone on to MaxRollGG, found a Speed GR variant for each class, and built it. As you can see, I'm 1500 plus Paragon. Each of these showcases will be done at 800 Paragon points. That's enough to put 200 points in each of the 4 sections. And also, if you follow the season journey and complete it all the way through, you should easily have 800 para. So that's that done. Also to note that each class is going to be limited by my experience playing that class and the gear I have available for that class. On that disclaimer, the Wizard and Necromancer are going to be the least because I don't usually play Wizards or Necros. And I've had to completely gear out those two characters in the last 2 to 3 days. So they're not going to be optimal, but in the first couple of days of the new season, you're not going to be optimal anyway. And then we go on to something like the Barbarian, where I've been collecting gear for the last 2 to 3 years, so her gear is going to be ridiculously high. But I'll go through each gear, gems, etc. as we do each class. Chapters below for you, so you can skip ahead if you want to, just to see specific classes. Hope you enjoy the video. So here it is. This is the Necromancer. So we're going to go into the game, see which town we appear in. 2. Awesome. So just to confirm the point, as you can see here, 1530 minus 730 is 800. We've got utility maxed, defense maxed, offense maxed. The core, we've got maximum movement speed, 50 in vitality, and 100 in intellect, giving us 200 there. This is a bone spear based on the Masquerade of the Burning Carnival set. That's the new Necromancer set. So let's just go through the gear. Now, as you can see, I have wardrobed my character. It's full Rathma set with white dye, apart from the helm, which has got vanishing dye. First point to note, I do not have the correct amulet. I've been trying to farm it for the last couple of days, and I've just been supremely unlucky. You're supposed to have a haunting... We just check. I've forgotten what it was called. Haunting Visions amulet for permanent simulacrum. I didn't have one, so I've just ended up crafting a Hellfire amulet with the Draw Life passive. I haven't even optimized it at all. It's just that's how it rolled, as you can see. So that's what we've got. In here we have our Bane of the Powerful. The rings, we've got a Primal Briggsworth with Dye's Stone of the Vengeance. On the other side, we've got an Ancient Convention of Elements with Bane of the Trapped, and we have our luxurious, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. We've got the Masquerade helm with the topaz, int armor bone spear, shoulders, int vit life resource cost, chest with the 3 topaz in there, Dante's binding, elegant pants. Again, this is all that this is a 6-piece Masquerade of the Burning Carnival set. Simulacrums no longer take damage, gains all runes, and its cooldown is refreshed when you die. As a 4 set, while you have simulacrum damage is reduced by 50%. Damage you set is split between you and your simulacrum, and then the final 6-piece set is Bone Spear cast by you, deals 9,000 increased damage. Simulacrums gain triple this bonus, which is why we need the amulet to make sure that it's permanent. In our offhand, we've got a lost time for the additional movement speed, and in our main hand we have Scythe of the Cycle. Over to our cube, we've got Maltorius' Petrified Spike, Stuart's Greaves, and Crispin's Sentence. As for the skills, we've got Decapify Enfeeblement, Bone Armor Dislocation, Devour. Now you're supposed to have Voracious here, but I found that to be very clunky, so I've just gone with the Aura instead, and it works. So Blood Rush, we're supposed to have the... where is it? Which gem? That one. You're supposed to have that thing I can't say. but I found again that I died so many times because it was a 20% health loss, 10% health loss, sorry, and without having the correct amulet, it was just bad. So I've gone for Homeostasis, which removes the health cost, provides more stability, Bone Spear Shatter, and Simulacrum Reservoir. We've got Fueled by Death, Standalone, Dark Reaping, and Final Service, which is the anti-death. I have anti-death in all of my builds because who wants to die? As a potion, we've got the Bottomless Potion of Regeneration. So that's the build. We're going to go in here, and again, as I said, this is limited by my experience playing the build and the gear, so unfortunately this one is right down at tier 10, level 45, because I don't have the correct amulet. If I had the correct amulet, I could push that easily up by 30. So here we go then. The main thing with this one is to make sure your bone armor is kept up all the time, and as soon as you find the elites, you are casting your Decrepify, and you're also trying to keep your bone shatter on your bone armor on cooldown. So I tend to do that as soon as I find an elite. I just kill everything on this build just because of the aura. Dodge that. As again, you can see my health is going up and down like a nightmare just because I don't have that amulet. I don't play Necromancers usually, but I might give this one a go in Season 28 just so I can get more gear. Once I've completed my season journey, of course. I don't even have a properly geared follower. I'll go through this particular character's follower gear after we've done the GR. There are probably YouTube videos out there showing this full spec in proper gear, etc. But I found most of the time they have primal gear on everything in every slot, and it's perfectly rolled. And then they have, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 Paragon, and I don't believe that gives an accurate representation of what the build actually plays like. Having a scuffed build like this with scuffed gear actually shows what it can do at lower levels, and I know I'm ripping through this. It's probably just because I'm carried by the Paragon. However, you may have noticed that I am still dying a few times, or very close to dying. Problem with the rune I've selected on the movement skill, it does have a cooldown, but as you can see, I found it not to be a hindrance at all, especially because I'm stopping to kill the smaller mobs. And again, this is mostly due to the fact I don't have that amulet. I have spent over 4,000 blood shards and 2,000 death breaths trying to get that amulet, and again it's no success. So just run out of time now really, with the season beginning in a couple of days. Because of my medical conditions, I have to play a certain way as well, which is why the least important skill is always on left click. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have a move only option. So there we go, that's that done. Just level up a gem here. That one will do. So there we go, that's that build. As promised, the follower has got absolutely nothing. This is because there's been a recent shift in follower equipment since I last played non-seasonal, in the fact that we used to use Templars everywhere with a set gear set, and now for speed GRs you are running an Enchantress. So she has no gear, which again comes down to lack of having the gear in non-seasonal. So I hope you found this one helpful for the Necromancer. We'll move on to a different class. We're now on to the Wizard. Again, the follower has nothing, as we've mentioned in previous sections of this video. I had fully geared Templars, but for speed GRs we move over to the Enchantress, and unfortunately I just didn't have any Enchantress gears saved up in non-seasonal. So this one is the new Wizard Typhon Hydra set for speed GRs. In the cube we have Fragment of Destiny, Tasker and Theo, and Halu of Karini. Our actual gear has been wardrobed, of course. We've also got the new Sanguine wings on. We've got the Magistrate with the diamond in there as a Wanderer hat. We've got the Typhon's Veil shoulders as a leather mantle. We've got the Typhon's Veil chest piece, which has been redone as Archon Armor Royal Die. It's also got the 3 Vitality gems in there. We've got the Guardian's Aversion Blacksmith crafted braces. We have the Typhon's Veil gloves, transmode as Royal Die gloves. We've got the Guardian's Case belt, blacksmith crafted. We have a Primal Ring of Royal Grandeur housing our Bane of the Trapped, level 80. We've got a Squirts necklace with a level 89 Zeiss Stone of Vengeance. We've got a Convention of Elements with a level 62 Enforcer gem. We've got the Typhon's Veil pants or trousers or whatever you want to call them with the 2 Vitality gems in there. We've got the Serpent's Sparker wand. And we've got finally the Typhon's Veil boots, and again lastly we have the Winter Flurry Ancient Offhand Source. Skill wise we are running Electrocute Chain Lightning, Black Hole Absolute Zero, Teleport Wormhole, Blizzard Apocalypse, Hydra Frost Hydra, Storm Armor Power of the Storm. We've got Galvanizing Ward, Dominance, and Unstable Anomaly, that's our anti-death, and Elemental Exposure. That's the gear. We just got a normal potion on this one. I didn't have any spare potions. This character was only created 3, maybe 4 days ago, so again limited experience playing, very limited gear, and that restricts the level of GR we can do. A bit better than the Necromancer, but we're on T11 level 50. Hopefully we'll do okay. So with this one it's a matter of getting the Storm Armor up first, and then going through and just making sure everything's cast. Again, this is on 800 power Paragon. I will confirm that after the GR. I forgot to prove that before the video. You want to try and get your Black Hole cast to keep up the stacks. It's not always possible. Again, this gear is not optimized. I actually really enjoy this build. It's one of my favourite builds to play actually. It's got a very nice play style, especially when you're on the 1500 power I'm normally used to. That's what I've been practicing on to test out the selected gear, etc. And it's real nice. I've got up to GR 70 on 1500 power on this gear. I hate this particular tile set. I'm not fishing for tile sets. We'll just go with whatever we get. I don't believe in. I know people when they going up on the leaderboards fish for the ideal tile set. So I'm trying to concentrate. Again, I'm not experienced really playing Wizard. So normally, because they're so fragile, I found I usually in past seasons and patches I found the Wizard to be very fragile. Normally because I don't have the patience to get the gear. There we go. I'm surprised my follower has stayed alive for this long. Oh, wrong way. I don't like the fact that the I'm so used to playing Path of Exile, where you can overlay the map, but you can't do that in Diablo 3. So the map is in the upper right hand corner, and that is something I am just not used to. But this is a showcase of the builds and not my ability to play the game. If I was doing a showcase on my ability to play the game, I'd be playing a completely different class and build. This is just a showcase on, as per the intro, speed GR builds as featured on Maxroll. No, this is not a sponsored video at all, just in case that's what people are wondering. It's Maxroll just happens to be the best website in my experience that houses builds for all the classes. I know there are some great Diablo 3 specialist content creators out there, but most of the time they only focus on a couple of builds rather than the whole lot. So trying to find the information you want regarding a specific class or build can be hard, whereas Maxroll has several content creators it uses, and they put all their information on the one website, which makes it easier for people like us to grab them. Just put it on the GoGook. There we go, and that's that one done. As promised, there's the Paragon, 200 in utility, defense, offense, and for the core we've put 50 in arcane power, 50 movement speed, 50 vitality and 50 intelligence. However, we don't use a lot of arcane power, so that 50 there could have easily gone into intelligence. So there we go, and that's the wizard done. Hope you've enjoyed this section. We'll go on to a different class now. We now move on to the Witch Doctor. Again, it's one of the least played characters I have, slightly better geared. First of all, we'll do the Paragon as per kind of normal now. We've got 200 utility, defense, offense, and in the core 50 in each section, which is generally where I like to start. I know people move theirs about, a personal preference, depending on what you're doing. This is a non-seasonal, non-ladder speed GR build, so I'm pretty alright doing it this way. Follow up, again, no gear, as aforementioned in other sections of the video. Used to be Templars all the time, now it's Enchantress, excuse me, and I just don't have any Enchantress gear saved. All the Blood Shards and Death Breaths I had went on to gearing these characters, so we'll move on to the gear. We have, this is a Mundungu's set, running Spirit Barrage, so we've got the Mundungu helm with the diamond, we've got the Mundungu shoulders, a Mundungu chest, ancient with 3 topaz, We are running the Traveller's Pledge with a level 45 Zai's Stone of Vengeance. We've got Lacumba's Ornament, Ancient and Auged. We've got a Ring of Emptiness, Ancient with the level 76 Bane of the Trapped. We've got a Blacksmith Crafted Guardian's Case. We've got an Ancient Compass Rose with a level 50 Goguka Swiftness. We've got the Mundungu's Ancient Pants with 2 Topaz. We've got Mundungu's Boots. We've got an Ancient Gazing Demise. And then finally we've got a Vu's Juicer. Again, some of this gear is not optimised at all. You can see by the stats as I roll over them. In for the cube, we've got the Barber, Frostburn and Convention of Elements. As for the skills, we are running Soul Harvest Languish, Piranha's Piranhado, Spirit Walk Severance, Locust Swarm Pestilence, Spirit Barrage Manitou, Big Bad Voodoo Ghost Trance, and then we've got Jungle Fortitude, Gruesome Feast, Spirit Vessel, which is the anti-death, and Grave Injustice. On Paragon 800, let me just check my notes. Our Witch Doctor is the same as our Wizard. Again, should be able to go up 5 more because we've got a little bit better gear. We'll see how we go on 55. I'm hoping to go through it. I have done it on this level before. There we go. Again, please remember I don't usually play Witch Doctors, so my ability to play this class is going to have something to do with how well it performs. I've been doing a lot of testing to get used to it, but that was on Para 1500. On Para 1500 in this gear I was able to get up to GR 75s. Some of the classes I'll be a little bit quieter in talking just because of inexperience in playing the build, and I don't want to die. It comes down to. That's floor 1 done. Moving on to floor 2. Ah, Paragon level. Nice. There we go. That's that one done. Running around trying to find the, I call them champions, like the rare, there we go, these rare magic things to get the globes of progress. That's what it's all about. There's another one. Our search continues. Not having a fully geared follower is going to hamper the progress as well, because they should be having anemones, so every time I'm hitting the pylons I'd get more progress, which would obviously speed it up. So without that, of course, that's going to change how quickly these can be done. There we go, that's another one done. Yes, go away, just let me level up my gems. There we go, and that's that one done. Hope this has been helpful for you. Let's move on to the next class. On to the Crusader now. Now the Crusader, we are running an Archon Bombard build, and this is one of my more favourite classes, so it's going to be better geared simply because I love playing the class. So here we go. Let's go through the follower first. Because this is one of my top classes, it has actually got gear on the Enchantress. Now for speed GRs it says you should have all skills as the focus, but I prefer the follower not dying to having all skills. I found that with all skills on the gear that she has, she just died too much. With a properly well geared follower, you might be able to get away with the all skills, but I prefer the not dying. She's wearing an ancient legendary Leoric's crown with the cooldown gem. We've got a gold skin with 3 topaz. We've got anemones, unity, and a pig's to go. Again, as you can see, the gear is not optimized for her, but it's the best I had on hand. As for the cube, we've got the Mortal Drama, Belt of the Trove, and Ring of Royal Grandeur. For our own gear, we've got the Ancient Helm of Akan with a cooldown gem, the Pauldrons of Akan, Breastplate of Akan with 3 diamonds, Talisman of Akan with a level 70 Bane of the Powerful, Blacksmith Crafted Guardian's Aversion, Ancient, Ancient Guardian's Case Belt, again Blacksmith Crafted, Gauntlets of Akan, Ancient Convention of Elements, we're auged with a 400 strength and housing a level 70 Boraski's chip, Captain Crimson's Thrust with 2 diamonds, Primal Unity with a level 85 Bane of the Trapped, Captain Crimson's Ancient Boots, Shield of the Steed, and Flail of the Charge, which I haven't actually Ramadama Ding Donged. So that is actually missing a crit gem, the Emerald. Oh well, never mind. So skill wise, we have got Iron Skin, Reflective Skin, Arcane's Champion Prophet, Steed Charge, Draw on Quarter, Contemn Vacuum, Phalanx Bowman, Bombard Barrels of Spikes, Heavenly Strength, Lord Commander, Iron Maiden, and Finery. No anti-death on this character, so if we die, we're relying on the Enchantress's skill. Oh, wrong button. Fate's Lapse. Without all skills, I go for Charm, Prophetic Harmony, Powered Shield, and Fate's Lapse on pretty much all the builds. Now this one is a lot better geared than the other characters. I just check my notes. I keep forgetting to do that before I log on. Paragon points, again 200, 200, 200. And for core, as we don't use Wrath at all in this build, we've got movement speed, 50 in vitality, and 100 in the strength for a total of 200. That makes a total of 800. Into the guild, we are up to, on this one, 65. With 1500 Paragon, I was able to do speed at 80s. Alright, so this is one of my favourite builds of pretty much all time, and I know it's kind of fallen out of popularity, and the Lon build is better. I just don't have the full ancient gear. I'm collecting the ancient gear for it. Pretty much all I do is run around on my steed looking for the champions, and as soon as the steed runs out, I usually drop the bowman and the vacuum, and everything else is pretty much on cooldown. Be sure to make sure all your skills are on cooldown before you activate the Arcane, because that reduces all your cooldowns. So go around there. Oh, this is heavy with champions, this one. Lovely. Ha! Cooldown one. Nice. Spam the buttons. Spam the buttons. Oh, I hate it when I go the wrong way. I engaged a champion somewhere. I missed it. Oh well. There's one. I'm not going to activate everything with this character. You need to just be aware of when the Guardian's due and try not to use your longer cooldowns. It does mean you kind of put yourself in a dangerous situation because you're spamming the Bowman and the Condemn. But once the Guardian comes down, you'll be able to one-shot it. There we go. Alright, so activate, them, and then we just stand there. There it goes. Why is it coming up that I've done this at 65? I'd done this in 80s. Or is it just because there was an update last night? So I wonder if that has something to do with it. Very strange. There we go, that's the Crusader done. I hope you found this enjoyable and helpful. Let's move on to the other classes. We are now on to the Demon Hunter. Now, just a bit of a background, the Demon Hunter was my favourite class for a number of seasons, and then it fell out of favour with myself simply because of patch updates and the playstyle. So although it's now my third favourite class, it has got better gear than most of the others we have seen. So let's get into it. First of all, the follow-up. This is a geared follow-up pretty much. We've got the Cannot Die Focus, Leoric's Crown with a diamond, the gold skin with the topaz, a Flavour of Time topaz, Nemes, Ice Climbers, and a big sticker. As you can see, the gear isn't prioritised or rolled correctly for her. It's just whatever I had to hand at the time. As for the Demon Hunter herself, Cane Ice Cube, we've got the Manticore, Zoe's Secret, and Ring of Royal Grandeur. We'll go into the rest of the gear. This is a Marauder Sentry build, so we've got the Marauder Helm with the diamond, the Marauder Shoulders. We're running a Hellfire Amulet with Hot Pursuit passive, and Zai's Stone of Vengeance, level 70. Let me just bring up my notes. There we go. This actually should be a squirt, but I didn't have one to hand at the time. So we've just gone with a Hellfire Amulet and crafted it, and we got Hot Pursuit passive. We've got our Ancient Marauders chest with the 3 diamonds. We've got Ancient Orged Wraps of Clarity. We have an Ancient Focus with Bane in the Trap, level 80. We've got an Ancient Restraint with a level 65 Enforcer. Also, Ring is Orged. We've got a Blacksmith Crafted Captain Crimson's Belt. Blacksmith Crafted Captain Crimson Pants with 2 diamonds. Ancient Bombard Rucksack, Orged. Primal Marauders Boots, Orged. And a Ancient Yang's Recurve with the Emerald using a Ramadama Ding Dong cube. I can never pronounce it, which is why I say Ramadama Ding Dong. You know which one I mean. It's the green thing that allows you to add socket to the weapons. That's the gear. Onto the skills. I've had to make a couple of changes to what Maxroll GG say for the build, simply because of how I like to play the build. So, Companion, Wolf Companion, Rain of Vengeance, Dark Cloud, that's the same. Sentry, Polar Station, that's the same. Cluster Arrow, Maelstrom, that's the same. Custom Engineering, Ballistics, Ambush, and the Anti-Death Awareness. The two changes, according to Maxroll GG, this should be Smokescreen Invisibility. I found that because of the cooldown and the lack of movement speed, it wasn't that great. I've moved over to a Vault Tumble to give myself a lot more movement speed and utility in getting out of certain on-death effects around the GR. And then secondly, this should be Evasive Fire Focus, but I found I never needed it. I know you're supposed to be bouncing between the Focus and Restraint, but honestly, I always forget to use Focus Fire anyway, so these are completely pointless. Personally, I would move over to a Traveller's Pledge Compass Road set, and then have maybe a Convention of Elements here. To build it out rather than the Focus and Restraint, but again, that's me personalizing the build quite profusely. It's just an option I would suggest for you. So what I've done, because I'm then Vault Tumbling everywhere, I tend to run out of Discipline, and there's no discipline in generating attacks, so we've ended up with Preparation Invigoration rather than Evasive Fire Focus Fire. I'm aware that because of this you lose out on the restraint focus damage, but as I said, I just don't need it. I forget focus fire anyway because things happen to die. So with this character on 800 Paragon, we are up to GR 70s. With 1500 Paragon, I clear 85 speeds in this setup, so this should be very easy. The idea is we just run around looking for the champions, and as soon as we find one, we just go ham, drop all our stations, try not to die. And then we're again looking out for our champions. Always make sure you got a Polar Station down before you cast your Cluster Arrow. You don't necessarily have to have all three, as you've seen. I forgot this one had Nemes, which is why there was a slight delay there. Normally I would put my Polar Stations down, my sentries down before hitting the... what's it? As you can see, I rip through the discipline. Oh, wrong one. Right. We've just spammed our sentries, so that was a knockback. Right, now I'm going to use a preparation just because it's of the cooldown. It's got quite a lengthy cooldown, but hopefully with optimized gear and higher Paragon, and like I said, if it was me running this build, I wouldn't use evasive fire at all. I'd use this setup and switch out of the... there we go. I would switch out of the focus restraint setup and go for a Traveller's Pledge Compass Rose. Again, I don't know why these personal bests are coming up. I have done this at GR 85s before. May have something to do with the recent patch update they had. For me, this was about 12 hours ago, so... and there we go. That was a GR 70 done speed on the Demon Hunter Marauder Sentry build. Hope that we found that helpful. Let's move now on to the next one. We now move on to our Monk. Now this is my second favourite class of all time. This was the first class I moved on to from my previous favourite class, which was the Demon Hunter. So this one is going to be hopefully very well geared. Let's move on to the follower first. Again, as per previous, Templar was the follower to have in all instances. We've moved on from that now, and I just didn't have enough gear to spread through my characters, so each character's got the gear that was available at the time I put the build together. So on this one we just have the cannot die focus. Again, just to mention, GG max roll recommend having all skills, but that is then prone to the enchantress dying a lot, unless it is got very nicely well geared. So I've just gone for cannot die. I just find it better. And on this particular version we've got Charm, Prophetic Harmony, Powered Shield and Fate's Lapse. As for the monk herself, we've got in the cube, we've got Ingeom, Bindings of the Lesser Gods and Ring of Royal Grandeur. This is an inner monk focusing on allies. We'll go through the rest of the gear. We have the Inner Mantra helm with the diamond. We have blacksmith crafted all healed power shoulders. We've got a Squirts amulet with a level 90 enforcer. We've got the blacksmith crafted Orc Hills search braces. We've got Frostburn gloves. We've got the Inner Mantra ancient chest with 3 diamonds. Inner Mantra ancient belt. The Focus ancient Auged with a level 90 Bane of the Trapped. Inner Mantra trousers or pants with diamonds. A ancient restraint with a level 60 Bane of the Powerful. Ancient crudest boots. And ancient inner's reach weapon, and that is the two-handed. So that's all the gear. On to the Paragon points as just a confirmation: 200 utility, 200 defense, 200 offense, 200 core, split between movement speed, 50 in vitality and a 100 in dex. Potion wise, we have got life per hit increase. This is an old potion when this character was a wave of light monk. I just haven't changed it over. It still works. Skill wise, we've got Cyclone Strike Implosion, Mystic Ally Water Ally, Dashing Strike Radiance, Way of the 100 Fists Blazing Fists, Serenity Ascension, Epiphany Desert Shroud, Relentless Assault, Beacon of Yatar, Near Death Experience, Anti-Death, and Unity. On 1500 power I speed clear 85, so this is pretty much going to be like the Demon Hunter, but on 75 that's T16. So with this one we're just going to be using our Dashing Strike to move around the rift, hopefully find those champions, and just spamming everything on cooldown and blowing things up is the way of things. Unlike the Demon Hunter, it is a bit sporadic on the movement speed because you've only got 2 charges on a Dashing Strike, and you are a little bit wary of cooldowns. As you can see though, it is one-shotting most things. I probably should have done a speed 80 actually on this one. On builds like this I would normally go for movement speed on the boots just to make the getting around the GR a little bit better, finding those champions and getting those progress globes. There's another one. I don't have Nemis on this, so I'm not worried about getting this. It's a conduit. Oh, wrong way. There it is. Almost up for the GR, so I'm wary of my cooldowns. There we go. Where is it? Down here. There we go. The update yesterday, well, my time yesterday, was about 12 hours ago-ish, must have reset the leaderboards or something, because over the last few days I have gone all the way up to a speed 85s, clearing on 90s on this character with this build. So I don't know why it's... I should put that on my Bane of the Powerful, never mind. Keep coming up with these achievements. There we go then, that's all done. Hope you found this helpful. Let's move on to the next class. On to the final class then, and this is the Barbarian. Now, full disclaimer, this isn't a speed GR build. Apologies. The speed GR build on max roll uses Rage Flip and a lot of different skills and a lot of different gear. I personally hate that setup. I can't play it. It's my own inability to play the build that unfortunately means I can't showcase that, but I will showcase a different build, and then you can just go and look at max roll for the speed GR variant. So profuse apologies for that. This is Immortal King Hammer of the Ancients build. It gets through the GRs very nicely. It's just not a speed variant. Because we are on effectively the solo GR push build for this armor set, we are followed by a very well geared Templar. We've got an ancient Leoric's crown with a diamond. We have primal homing pads. We have the cannot die ancient relic. We've got an ancient flavor of the time. We've got a Tal Rasha with the rubies. We've got an ancient Kane's Scrivener gloves. We've got ancient Auged Nemi braces. We've got blacksmith crafted ancient Captain's Crimson's belt. We've got blacksmith crafted ancient Captain Crimson's tusk with 2 rubies. We have an Oculus ring with ruby. We've got blacksmith crafted Wall of Man. We've got ancient Ice Climbers, and we've got ancient Thunder Fury sword with Ramadama Ding Dong cube used to get the socket, which we've got a critical hit damage. We are missing a Unity ring is supposed to sit here, but that has been used on a different build, and I don't have another one that is relevant for the character, so it is missing the one ring there. For this build we've got heal, loyalty, onslaught and guardian. On the Barbarian cube we've got Gavel of Judgment, Mortix brace. This should be braces of the first man. I just have a better braces of the first man than Mortix brace, so we just swap them over. And then Band of Might. On the character itself we've got Primal Immortal King Helm, Auged with an Amethyst. We've got Primal Fury of the Ancients, Auged. We've got Ancient Auged Traveller's Pledge with a level 97 Bane of the Trapped. We've got Ancient Auged Braces of the First Man. We've got Ancient Immortal King Belt. We have a Primal Convention of Elements, Auged with a level 95 Pain Enhancer. We have an Ancient Auged Immortal King's Trousers or Pants. We've got a Compass Rose with a level 97 Bane of the Stricken. Primal Auged Immortal King's Boots. Ancient Echoing Fury with a Ramadama Ding Dong cube used for critical hit damage, gem emerald. And Primal Remorselessness with again a Ramadama Ding Dong cube used to get the socket with the emerald gem. Now Paragon wise, just to confirm, like all the other classes, 200, 200, 200, and in the core we've done 200, split 50 in movement speed, 50 in vitality, and 100 in strength. As a GR push, this character has done GR 100s, and in the last season I got up to 105 solo with gear worse than this. However, as a speed variant, we are up to GR 80s, simply because the build is so very slow. So it's not really, as I said, a speed build, and all I do is just I run around and hold down Hammer of the Ancients and just move through the Rift as fast as the build will allow me, and making sure that Wrath of the Berserker, Insanity. Oh, I didn't do the skills, my apologies. Once I've finished the GR, before I shut it down, I will go through the skills for you. That way you know I haven't changed them and can't change them. Oh, Wrath drop, that's a mistake. That's all your damage basically. What I'm going to do in the new season is follow the builds as per Max GG. The reason that this is my favourite class is not because of the playstyle or the damage or because you can get into support groups, nothing like that. It is simply because, in my personal opinion, the Immortal Kingsit on Barbarian is the easiest one to do to get the Master Dungeon. It is, for purposes of completing the seasonal journey, which is why I played Diablo 3 every season, is not to Paragon push. You can tell that because I'm only on 1500 in non-seasonal, but to complete the full season journey, get the Guardian, so I can get all of those MTX, the pets, the wings, etc. Now, all the portrait frames, and that's why I come back to Diablo 3 every season. Additionally, I love running bounties, and there's a particular streamer I enjoy hanging out with in Diablo 3 with new things, and I just run bounties for their community, a lot on a whirlwind variant of this build, of this class, just to help out everyone else in that community get through their seasonal journey. So that's the main reason why I play Barb. Generally, once I've completed and I'm happy with the Barb, I'll go on to another build or class just to get some gear. And in this case, it might be the Necromancer, because that is where I'm lacking a lot. I didn't have any of gear for the Necromancer while I'm going through this rift on this character. Should have mentioned that really. Oh, don't want to get blown up. There we go. As I said, this is not the speed GR variant. You can tell by how slowly I'm moving through the rift. This is the GR push variant, which is why it's the last in this showcase. I wish I could do the speed GR variant. It looks so pog and so fast, but it's just not something I play. I did try doing it in the testing over the last few days, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't even complete a GR 50. Now, considering all the gear, all the set gear I have for the Barb is at least ancient, most of it is primal, most of it is orged, most of it is very well rolled. Not being able to complete a GR 50 at Paragon 1500 is well, proof that I cannot run the speed GR variant for the Barb. There we go. Let's level up the bounty gem. Right, before I hand in the GR, I'll just go through the skills. Because the GR is still open, I can't change any of them. So we've got Veteran Warcry Veteran's Warning, Furious Charge Merciless Assault, Battle Rage Bloodshed, Hammer of the Ancients Smash, Wrath of the Berserker Insanity, and Call of the Ancients together as one. We have Ruthless, Nerves of Steel Anti-Death, Berserker Rage, and Rampage. So that's all the skills. Hopefully you found this helpful. And again, I'm going to apologise that this isn't the Speed GR variant, but I hope you found this helpful anyway. Let's move on to the outro. And that's it. That is, other than the Barbarian, is all of the classes in D3, a Speed GR based on the gear 800 Paragon, and without any Season 28 buffs. All the gear was shown, all the skills were shown. Hopefully you found this helpful for your journey into Season 28, and I hope to produce some more Diablo 3 videos over the course of Season 28, showing my progress and builds, etc. Normally I'd stream and do Path of Exile videos, but every time a Diablo 3 season comes up, I do go in and play it. I've seen somewhere on the internet that with Diablo 4 comes out, this is rumoured to be the last season for Diablo 3. I hope not, I really hope not. But who can say what happens in the future? We'll just have to wait and see what Blizzard do. Again, hope you found this video helpful. Stay safe in Sanctuary. Enjoy Season 28.